It's St Patrick's Day this weekend, and what better place to come and enjoy it than the Sherlock Holmes on Collins Street. Come and try the good food, tasty drinks including Guinness, the football, Premier League on all weekend, the Melbourne F1 Grand Prix. There will be no snakes and of course no false deities. The Sherlock Holmes, your place to enjoy St Patrick's Day. So welcome to another week of the Sherlock Premier League preview. It's getting toward the exciting end of the season. The league leaders, United and City, have only 10 games to play, which is getting quite exciting. We're getting to the pointy end of the FA Cup, the Champions League starting to unfold. And as of every year, the battle for relegation this year is incredibly tight. Only 10 points separate Fulham, who are mid-table in 10th place, and QPR, who are 20th place. So there's a lot of room for teams to move, and absolutely no one has already conceded their season's a loss yet. So we'll see a lot that's going on. Our first kick-off this weekend is Everton versus Man City at 11:45 on Saturday night, which will be a very good way to kick off the big St Paddy's weekend we're having down here. Everton were dumped out of the FA Cup last weekend 3-0 by Wigan at home, which was just devastating for them. They're still holding up the table quite well, but Liverpool, Arsenal looking a lot better than them for the Europa League places at the moment. Man City, on the other hand, thumped Barnsley 5-0. They've moved into the FA Cup semi-finals, which could pair them with either Man United or Chelsea, which could be a big one. That could really decide the league in terms of momentum, a visit to Wembley there. That being said, they will visit Goodison Park and probably dispatch Everton 2-1. And our next match is Aston Villa versus QPR. A big match for cellar dwellers here. QPR have had a couple wins recently. They had a big 3-1 win last week over Sunderland, whereas Villa had a 2-1 win over Reading, which is quite good for them. Both sides are, as we've said, in that bottom 10, really scrapping to stay up this year. An interesting match. There's some good money on this. It's $3.40 for a draw. I'm going to back that. 1-1. Our next fixture sees Swansea host Arsenal in Wales, which will be an interesting match. Arsenal were dumped out of the Champions League only just this week. They were trailing 3-1, having conceded 3 away goals to Bayern Munich. Went to Munich, won 2-0, came so close to going through, but sadly they were knocked out, which means no English teams have gone past the last 16, which is pretty bad for English football, but we won't jump to any conclusions. Next year they'll sort themselves out. Chelsea did win it last year, so these things seem to rotate. Swansea, on the other hand, have lost a bit of their swagger that they had in the start of the year. They're still sitting 7th place. 9th place, sorry. They're 10 points ahead of Fulham, so they're reasonably safe in that top half of the table. But they're not anywhere near as consistent. They're winning, then they're losing, then they're drawing, as opposed to the start of the season where they were rampant. Arsenal will probably be licking their wounds. They gave absolutely everything in Munich during the week, and sadly it won't be enough. That'll probably not carry over, and Swansea, who are a good price at $3 to win here, I'd back them 2-0. Southampton host Liverpool next, which will be a big match. Liverpool had a 3-2 win over Tottenham last week. Gerrard scoring a late penalty, a fantastic result for them. That's their 3rd win in a row, which has moved them up to the 6th place, which they're doing quite well, and they'll be very pleased with this progress recently. They go down to St Mary's to play Southampton, and I'll back them. They'll win 2-0. Watch out for Suarez there. Stoke host West Brom later on that evening. Tough trip for the Baggies, having a good year, sitting pretty in 8th place, and Stoke, on the other hand, troubled times recently. I'm going to back West Brom 1-0. Man United host Reading at 4:30 AM that morning. Just 10 matches to go for United. Can they hold on to that 12-point lead over City? You would hope for their sake they would. Everyone else is probably hoping no, they'll stuff it up like last year, but we'll soon see. Reading, on the other hand, 4 straight losses in a row. Manager Brian McDermott, who guided them to the championship trophy last season, has been sacked. They haven't got a replacement as of yet. I believe the assistant manager is the interim caretaker. They only have 1 away win on the road this season. I would doubt they will make that 2 at Old Trafford. I back United 3-0. Sunderland playing Norwich later on. Sunderland, good money here for them. $1.90. Back them if you want quick cent, and 1-0. Easy win there for them. That's at 12:30 Sunday night. Then we have a succession of London derbies, not big London derbies, but close and pretty tense matches that are going to be tough. The first is Tottenham Fulham, and the second is Chelsea West Ham. Tottenham hosting at White Hart Lane will be interesting. Very tough for them. They should. Again, they lost at Liverpool last week, which they were very disappointed about, and having a lead as well. Gareth Bale is still in fantastic form, but they did miss Aaron Lennon a lot last week, and possibly missing a decent centre forward. Jermaine Defoe, Adebayo, just not cutting it out. They're not in the sort of 25 goal a season calibre of a Van Persie or a Suarez that the club probably really needs to push that top four, stay in there, and stay ahead of Chelsea. They're 2 points up at the moment. They should keep that with a 3-1 win. Then Chelsea play West Ham. This is an hour later that morning. A win if Tottenham do lose or are held by Fulham could see Chelsea move up to third place. They are just 2 points down. They had a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford in the FA Cup last week, which they were very pleased about, coming from 2-0 down. United were filthy about letting a lead slip like that, but Chelsea quite pleased. Could send them into a semi against Man City if they win in a replay, which will come soon. West Ham, on the other hand, they need an incredible performance to get a win, or at least a draw at Stamford Bridge. I would back Chelsea, and that'll be a 3-0 win. Our last match of the round sees Wigan hosting Newcastle. Wigan have had a pretty dismal season. They're sitting in the bottom three, but they did have that big win at Everton, 3-0 in the FA Cup. Sends them to a semi. They'll play either Blackburn or Millwall. Big trip to Wembley. Never know, maybe they can make the FA Cup final and salvage something out of what's a pretty disappointing season. They can still stay up. A win over Newcastle, who are sitting 13th at the moment. They could climb to 10th with a win and other results going their way. I doubt that happening at Wigan. Wigan will win 2-1. So that's us for another week. Come enjoy all the St Patrick's Day, Grand Prix, football, AFL. It's going to be a massive weekend of festivities down here. Come and have a look, and we'll see you over the weekend.